So, while I was making last week's video, which was a video on the Jedi and is something you can watch right here, I had a thought on the clones, the backbone of the Republic military during its waning days and the namesake for the Clone Wars. After the war ended, the Jedi Purge was being enforced and the Republic began to reform into the Galactic Empire. But my question is, what happened to the clones? Were they wiped out? Decommissioned? Killed? Like the Jedi? Maybe you already know the answer to it, but first, we need some context. For those who are unaware or need a refresher of events, the original clone troopers came into play when they were ordered to be created using the DNA code of the legendary bounty hunter Jango Fett, and on the surface, it was made to look like the Jedi Order had commissioned the clones by the will of Sifo Dyas, a Jedi who is very important to the story of Star Wars and deserves his own video. But back to the topic at hand. Sifo Dyas, who commissioned an army, was then killed, and Count Dooku, under the orders of Darth Sidious, began overseeing the creation of the clones. And as we know, Darth Sidious, known as Palpatine, would go on to dissolve the Senate and create the Empire at the end of the Clone Wars. And since the clones were the backbone of the Republic's forces and the only real entity, like almost in the entire galaxy, with any military or combat experience, now that the Jedi were either dead or in hiding, it only made sense for every clone still alive after the Empire's takeover to be converted into the iconic stormtroopers we know and love to hate. Now, we don't get this bit of information from the movies. It never explains what happens to the clones until a comic titled Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith, and it's about Vader just after the duel on Mustafar. And one of the background plots in the story is the clones of today converting into stormtroopers and serving the will of the Empire. All the while, they hear about the Emperor's plan to completely shut down the creation of clones on Kamino, to decommission the bred soldiers for more real, practical people of the galaxy. And so, by the time of the rebellion, the majority of clones were discharged or retired, making them pretty rare to see, but there were still a few that remained in service to the Empire, basically making up desk jobs, or they were trainers for the people enlisting as stormtroopers. Now, as of today, in the events leading up to the rise of Skywalker, there are no clone troopers in the galaxy as we know of. They've all long died off and were replaced by real people, which is kind of sad given how they were brought up and used throughout the Clone Wars, only to be removed from service for more conventional means. But what do you think? Do you think the clones could have served as stormtroopers all the way up until Return of the Jedi? Do you think it would have made a difference in aim or any of the other problems these stormtroopers might have? You can let me know your thoughts, as well as all questions, comments, and concerns regarding this video, Star Wars, or its lore, in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.